Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. I'm driving home from work. Kind of weird coming the opposite direction. But today I just watched Assault and Battery's video on John Cena deserving to be the WWE headliner for the WWE Hall of Fame, Wrestlemania 42, coming up in Las Vegas. I remember that, honestly, right off the bat, as soon as the Montreal Money in the Bank announcement was made that John Cena was going to retire, I remember the first night that we heard his kind of announcement of his retirement, we all kind of took it the wrong way. It kind of sounded like he was going to retire at Wrestlemania. And it wasn't until he went in the back during the press conference that he kind of set it straight that it would be his last WrestleMania coming up, and he actually intended to wrestle the entire year. I haven't really gone back, but I think it was just the shock of what he was saying, that the last time is now. We saw it on his t-shirt. We saw it on his towel. That we kind of like, oh, shoot. We're going to lose like one of the biggest legends of the game. I know that, when Stone Cold Steve Austin had his so-called last match at WrestleMania 19, because of a lot of factors, they couldn't make the announcement. A lot of people thought it was because WWE had just gone private and The Rock was going to make movies, and they couldn't really make an announcement that they were losing two of the biggest stars of the business at that time, The Rock and Stone Cold. When The Undertaker would have matches at WrestleMania, we would always all debate whether if we were going to see The Undertaker again. WrestleMania 30, when he lost to Brock Lesnar, we all thought that was going to be the end, and then he came back and he had the match against Bray Wyatt the next year. I think the next year was crazy. When, of course, we had WrestleMania 32, and then actually Taker showed up and kind of worked a lot that year. We saw him at freaking SummerSlam and Survivor Series with Bray Wyatt eating his soul and things like that. But we never know when it's going to be. But John did it the right way. He called the shot. This is how long I'm going to do this. Whatever happens. I'm going to do so many dates. He wants to get out there and see the world out there. I remember when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar announced his retirement from the NBA. He would go from city to city that last year, and everybody would have some sort of a gift to give him, and there would be some sort of a ceremony before the game tipped off, whether it was them giving him a rocking chair or a piece of the court, for where he played all of his games when he came to that city along the way. Everybody wanted a moment with John Cena. That's why it was so special that I got to actually get a picture with him. I wouldn't say that I got to meet him, because I remember walking 2 steps away, and I was like, shoot, I wanted to talk to him about Fast and the Furious. I wanted to talk to him about this movie called The Wall that he made. That was really, really good, and I just was thinking, there's no way anybody ever talks to him about The Wall. But I made a video that day. I think that night, that I was like, do not make the mistake of putting John Cena into the Hall of Fame at WrestleMania 41. I understand you want to make this all about John, but stretch it out. There's no way in the world that John's not going to show up the next year. Let his whole retirement stretch out so we get to actually see his whole career. The one thing I guess I say I loved and I hated about WWE when they would make documentaries on certain performers back in the day. I remember the one The Rock. It came out in between WrestleMania 27 and 28, and here he is headlining WrestleMania 28, possibly one of the biggest matches of his career, against John Cena. Of course, they would make the Cena versus Rock documentary, but then The Rock would come back and he would do WrestleMania 29, and he would wrestle in the WrestleMania main event again. And it's kind of like these documentaries aren't complete because they were made before they were all done. And someday we're going to find out that, why Rey Mysterio went into the Hall of Fame at WrestleMania 39, even though he was still competing, whether if they were trying to get somebody else in to be the headliner, much like the Ultimate Warrior with WrestleMania 26. But I'm glad that we're getting the full run of John. I know the rumor is already out there that Cena has come out and said, hey, I appreciate the offer, but he will not be taking the money and going to Saudi Arabia for WrestleMania 43. So I think you got to strike while the iron's hot. Even though John is going to retire in December, the Hall of Fame is going to be in April. It's only 4 months later, but think about the long string of we went to WrestleMania 26 and we saw Shawn Michaels' last match. He was the headliner for WrestleMania 27. Edge wrestled at WrestleMania 27. WrestleMania 28, he was the headliner. I can't remember what years The Undertaker was, but he was the same thing. I mean, we're used to the 1 year deal, but we can do a couple of months. And John's going to be there. I understand he's probably not going to want to go to the first Raw reunion the next year. WWE's going to try and get him to come back as often as he can. I think that he's going to be around more than The Rock is. I mean, I can't, off the top of my head, really remember the last time we saw The Rock. I think it was Bad Blood in October last year. So I think it's been over a year without a Rock appearance. No, because The Rock did NXT as well as WWE in January. He was there for the Netflix debut. So it's not been quite a year. But it's been a long freaking time. And we all thought we were going to get Cody versus The Rock. We thought we were going to get, Rock versus Roman. We thought that he was going to be around. And then he made that movie and he lost all that weight. And you got to wonder, I'm not going to say that we're never going to see him again, but dude, just like what Ravi said in his video, you really got to think about how long John has been doing this, how many times that we went and we saw him. He did not care if we booed him. He did not care if we cheered him. He gave us the same performance time after time. I don't care how long you've been a wrestling fan. If you want to say the cool thing is that, you don't like John Cena, I guarantee one time between 2002 and 2025 that you own a freaking John Cena shirt. I don't care if it's an orange one, a green one, a purple one. You at least have one. He's one of the best performers of this generation. For him to do it for as long and basically be a main eventer the whole way through, that could headline, it doesn't matter if it's a SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Battleground, anything out there. The guy was the man. He's one of the most deserving guys to go into the Hall of Fame of this generation. It's no questions asked, no nonsense. This is what it is. Cena's going in. WrestleMania 42. It's going to be awesome. I don't have a doubt in my mind. Let's go.